back to the Kings of the Village. This is part 2 of The World Has Gone Mad. For whatever reason, it was a hard stop. Something's going on with my computer or internet connection, like everything else in the world is fucked up. So sorry about the hard stop on part 1. But we are going to continue our conversation about the world that we know it to be and being jacked up. In part 1, we talked about how and what we were dealing with. I'm just trying to still figure out how people are dealing with so much all at the same time. And these are just a few of the craziness and just a few of the topics going on in the world. And I remember the last conversation we had about how hot I was in this studio, and it's still very hot. And I'm mad. I don't know why I didn't turn the air up when I got in here, but whatever. Maybe, I'm 45 now and I'm going through menopause. So when I breathe, I'm hot. When I say hi to somebody, I start sweating. I'm that hot. Anyway, going on with our conversation where we ended when we were talking about New Orleans and black people and why the world doesn't care about us, still don't know. Still haven't figured that out yet. I think some people are just going to hate us just because. But what I do know is politics are going to keep on politicking. It doesn't matter who's in office. You're going to be broke. I posed a question to the last show about, were you better off with somebody different in office? Were you better off with a different party in office? I'm going to venture to say 90% of you are going to be like, no, I didn't feel the effects. That means it didn't get better for you. But yet we're still told, get out the vote. But then what does that mean? What happens when you do? I just want somebody to tell me, is the world going to change? Is it going to get better? Are you going to do better? Are you going to be in a better space? Probably not. Nope. Your life's not going to change much because of Democrats in there or Republicans in there or independents in there. It may change, though. And I'm not endorsing anybody. If you had somebody who seemed radical in office, it would have to be somebody like outrageous who really wants policy change and who's going to shake up Washington. And I'm not talking about the kind of shake up like Trump did. Trump, that was foolishness. That was just mess and chaos. I'm talking about someone who's a true radical who thinks about free health care for all, free education for all. That kind of person. Somebody who actually wants to get the infrastructure fixed. Like when you drive outside, you don't lose a tire. When you go over a bridge, you're not scared that it's going to collapse. We are in a society where TikTok is more important than your health. That gets more attention. When you got a little girl, some little girl literally with 170 million followers. This is weird to me, first of all. I think she just turned 17 or 18. Why are y'all following her? It's just weird. And she does nothing. She has no true talent. I think now she's trying to be a singer and has a show on Hulu. Girl, please. That's the kind of stuff that we give our attention to. 60,000 plus people on the streets of LA with nowhere to go, hooked on drugs, some of them, prostitution, some of them, no food, some of them, or some of them homeless because they're the working class poor. And if you come down to LA, because I don't want to hear about it if you haven't been, but hell, go to Seattle, go to Kansas. You don't even have to come to California to see it. I'm just talking about California because it's more actual people on the streets, but it's also 38 million people who live here. But take a look outside and go in your urban inner city. I'm not talking about these beautiful suburbs that some of y'all live in. Geist if you're in Indiana. Leawood or Lee Summit if you're in Missouri. Brentwood if you're in California. I'm not talking about some of the suburbs of Chicago or Illinois, like Naperville. I'm not talking about none of that stuff. Go downtown. That's what I'm talking about. Go in the city, go in the hood, and see how people are living with holes in their wall. Toilets not flushing because they can't afford the water bill that's $800. People, hooking up illegal sources of heat because they can't afford their heating bill. How do we send all this money over to Afghanistan and all these other countries, but we got Mamie Sue and Mabel who have to sit in front of a kerosene lamp, breathing all kind of toxins in, and her light bill's $800 or her gas bill's $1,500, but y'all are quick to send $1 trillion everywhere else in America, in a country outside of America. And yet we sit by in our beautiful studios and our beautiful homes and pour ourselves another cup of coffee. Ooh, that's bad. But we don't do shit about it. We keep electing these state officials, city, county council, aldermen and women, representatives, big hefty salaries and beautiful suits and security, but yet Mabel can't eat. We're going to be broke forever because we have such a fucked up mentality that if it doesn't affect us, it doesn't concern us. Y'all should be ashamed. Y'all should be sick into your stomach that you have all these people on the streets. And we're talking about working people. I'm not talking about people that you deem as bums, which is a derogatory statement. These people are working people who can't afford to get ahead. Boy, if that don't make you feel some kind of way, you're a disgusting human being. In fact, you're not human. You're nothing. You're trash. Let's move on to something a little lighter to make y'all feel better, because every time I come on here, I'm mad. We know that by now, right? Whatever. Ain't like nobody's listening any damn way. Y'all know they ain't, so who cares? The world continues to fall apart because we celebrate bad behaviors. And if we don't celebrate it, we allow it. We're silent about it. We're complicit in it. We don't do nothing about it. The next thing I want to talk about before I leave you, and I don't know if I missed any topics. I really don't care because I'm mad and nobody cares about that. But what are we going to do about the DaBabys and the Bootsies and all the other people who hate us publicly? And when I say us, I mean GLBTQ. Let me say that right. I'm part of that community. I'm a gay black man. But the cancel culture, right? Like, it's not really real, because I even find gay people still bopping out to DaBaby. Like, we don't really get rid of people. We didn't really get rid of or cancel R. Kelly or Harvey Weinstein. We still watch some of the movies and listen to the songs. We still vibe with these people. But publicly, we always, well, that's not right. But what are you really doing about it? Nothing. DaBaby will go on and have a full life. This will die down and he'll make another album and you'll go buy it. How disgusting that he can just publicly just be who he wants to be and is still celebrated in this society. But that's the American way, right? We allow those freedoms just as we allow the freedoms for me to get on this podcast and say whatever I want, right? Well, within reason. Or is it within reason? But how do we allow DaBaby to... Why was he not gotten rid of or counseled or fired or whatever y'all call this new community when he was going around on tour beating the shit out of women and smacking women then? Why did we accept Chris Brown after he beat the shit out of Rihanna? And it's like, well, all is forgiven. He made another good album. I'm just telling you, like, we don't really get rid of people. We are the most forgiving community on this planet. I don't know how you beat a woman and you're forgiven. Goes around slapping women, knocking the shit out of them on tour. Then he says this thing about, HIV and AIDS. Oh, well, I didn't know any better. You're 29, bro. Come on. You a 29-year-old adult male, and you don't know right from wrong, what not to say. And then, of course, you're going to have a group of people, specifically straight black male, who are going to absolve him of all his wrongdoings. Well, come on. Then you got 50 Cent and all them jumping to his defense. And let me show him. He didn't know he was a star. And then fuck-ass people like Nick Cannon, which is a whole show in itself. Going around making a bunch of babies and don't want to marry nobody. Well, who said you have to be married? And then these women, of course, are going to keep opening their legs for him because he's got star power. Ugh. Just disgusting. No self-worth at all. Y'all be mad about everything gay, but y'all not mad about these men beating women and not taking care of their children. Let's look at ourselves in the black church, which is a whole nother story in itself. We talk about all the crimes of that and all the sins of the gay people in the church, but we don't talk about the fat-ass, chicken-eating pastor. We don't talk about the big pastor of, let me make another collection plate, and then I need the pastor's anniversary, then I need this, let me go collect a building fund. We don't talk about gluttony. We don't talk about people cheating. Y'all, please. But y'all uplift the baby in a minute and want to put y'all arms around that man and forgive him. Or a pastor who cheats on his wife. Yeah, that's a man right there. He admitted to his sins. Meanwhile, y'all want to beat the gay out of these poor little kids or put them in some kind of mental institution. Please, whatever. The baby. Y'all just so obsessed with his looks and his six-pack that y'all do anything and forgive anything. Don't even stand for anything. Just allow whatever to happen. This is why they act the way they do, because they don't have to be held accountable. One, in a court of law, but anywhere else. He should have been done when he was knocking the shit out of black women. Let him been hitting a white woman. His ass would have been under the jail and he would have lost every deal. Not some little concert in the park. He would have lost his album deal and been sued for $1 billion. But black women are protected anyway, so that's a whole nother story in itself, child. They ain't never cared about the black women, so whatever. Child, please. So we got this beef running around with wait a minute, Yezzy, Kanye. Him and Kim are secretly working on their love fest. I forgive you, Daddy. You forgive me. Let's work on it. We have kids together. We're billionaires. I love you, Daddy. Girl, please. Another fuck ass. She a fuck ass too, but whatever. Then you got Drake running around and whatever the hell he's doing. Him and Kanye are fighting and battling it out. I wish I cared. I mean, I know I'm supposed to, but I really don't. I don't care about neither one of their new albums. I've seen them both in concerts, and it's a meh for me. It's meh. Don't care. Maybe I'm just old and bitter, but I really don't give a fuck. I really don't. Ain't Kanye West my age anyway? I think Kanye West is 44 and Drake is 34. They're all old. But they're relevant. They're like Jay-Z, old but relevant. Like Nas, old but relevant, which I love Jay-Z. Love Nas more. I'm the Nas fan. But, we're the same age, so I'm in that group. Me and Beyonce, we're all in that 40-plus club, so we kind of get it, Anyway, I don't even know what the hell I was all supposed to be talking about. I just know that the world is falling apart. I'm hot. I'm mad. Shout out to the first responders and the people who are trying to make it better for all the flood victims. Shout out to the first responders and the people who have given their lives for the 9/11 attacks in New York and the Pentagon. Happy Labor Day. Shout out to all those people who are, fighting that good fight. And I'm not talking about the fuck ass who are just making a bunch of bills and policies that don't affect anybody. I'm not talking about like the Nancy Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer's, and I'm not talking about all those people. And I ain't just talking about the Democrats, I'm talking about the Republican side too. All those people who stop all the bills and don't do anything, or all the people who add stuff in the bill for infrastructure that has nothing to do with building anything. It just continues to put the overworked at the forefront, while the policymakers that we continue to vote and put our trust in do nothing. And it's just disheartening. And sorry you tuned into a podcast that was not so positive, but really I'm not sorry, because the world is falling apart, and we know it. We see it every day. And I know many people want an outlet to listen to something fun and gossip, and we got the B. Scott's columns for all that kind of stuff. I'm just not in that mood today. That's why I really didn't too much focus on entertainment, other than I'm mad at DaBaby and really disappointed, and Bootsy being upset with Lil Nas X and following him around the country. And every fucking time Lil Nas X posts something, little Bootsy is watching and lurking. If you are so pissed about it, why are you watching it? Why are you following him? Why are you so pressed about it? Why are you so mad about it? Why do you care? If it's so disgusting and ruining the fabric of America, while you have strippers and hoes and all this other stuff and demeaning women, black women, but you care so much about the fabric of America and children. But let's take a look at your work, Bootsy. How you degrade black women. What message are you sending? You disgusting piece of shit. You are trash as a human being. How do you have time while you're raising your kids to worry about what Lil Nas X post? Don't you have some child support you're supposed to be paying somewhere? Or a little nightclub full with hoochies that want to pay $20 to get in to see you? You ugly ass piece of shit. You are a waste. And I'm outraged that people are going to actually forgive DaBaby. He's on some apology tour. I'm sorry. No, you're sorry because your career is falling apart and you want to fix it. It's like people who get caught. I didn't mean to. No. Your dick got hard and you put it in there. You meant to cheat. You're sorry you got caught? I didn't know any better. Nigga, you 25 years old. Bitch, please. How do you get to 25 years old, make millions of dollars, and you're not educated enough about what you should and shouldn't be saying? The internet is unforgiving. They're supposed to be unforgiving, you fool. Please. One more thing. Shout out to Britney Spears for trying to take her life back. Like, conservatorship, you taking somebody's life. Like, what? The rules that we got in place, all the sophisticated rules and court systems, but we can't feed people. We can tell Britney Spears she can't run her life and she can't have her own money and can't control her assets, but we don't know how to feed the homeless and shelter the homeless, get people off drugs. What a mess. The world has lost its way. I don't know that we've ever had our way, really. Y'all was so focused on keeping black people down and oppressing them and killing off all the powers to be. You never really focused on what America could be because you was too busy tearing it and ripping it apart. We spent so much time trying to tell black people, get back, don't do this, don't come in our neighborhoods. We never seen anything else coming. This is why we are so far behind other countries, because we spent so many years tearing our own apart, which is why our infrastructure is falling apart. Which is why black people have nothing, because you took it away from us. Think about all the good we could have if we were just equal and fair. If we would have let black people really be what we could have been. Think about how great America could have been and how beautiful it could have been. Think about all the shows that would have been on there, all the diversity, all the input we could have had. We would have been outpacing every other country had we utilized the talents that were right in front of us. But y'all spent so much time, and still do, not allowing us to have a seat at the table. And we can't. You know why we can't? You know what pissed me off about the black people? It's like, oh, I made it. Yeah, you're 1 out of a million, you stupid fuck. We can't get a seat at the table because the table was stolen. If you've taken all the land, all the resources, how do you think we're supposed to have a fair shot when we don't own anything, when it was all taken from us? Please. Gotta be kidding. It is unbelievable to me. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I guess that's where I'm going to be. Sorry you had to deal with my foolishness. But we're gonna have to end it there, I guess, right? I guess we're just gonna end it there, leave it there, and I'll just be mad about it because I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know that I want to say anything else about it. Because it's not going to get any better, right? It's just really not at this point. That is my time. Thanks for tuning in, and not sorry for not being away. Listen, there's only like 3 people that listen in India, and 1 in Africa, and 1 in Kansas City. Shout out to y'all for the 3 people that listen to me, that rocks with me. Until next time, just remember this, that you too can be the king of your village no matter where you are in the world. Just do something, whether it's picking up a piece of trash, feeding somebody. But if we all do that shit, you know the world's going to be a better place, or at least a decent place. It won't be better for a lot of us, but if you do one thing for one person, that'll impact somebody, right? We can keep passing that along, right? Anyway, we'll keep the conversation going. And again, happy Labor Day. We're going to pray for all those victims around the world who are continued to struggle. And I hope they get everybody out of Afghanistan. I hope they can figure out this flooding system and get, power and get gas and food to these people, because it's not acceptable to say we'll get you food in 5 days. We'll get you water in 5 days. Think about if you could live without those necessities, those bare essentials. And I don't want any excuses. I don't want any excuses about why we can't get somewhere and get to somebody. We've had floods for years. We are too sophisticated not to be able to get to those victims. I ain't buying it. Nope. All right, y'all.